Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 14th May 2022. So let's get started with our discussion and let us try to see today's quote. Today's quote is regarding freedom. So actually freedom is seen in news, right? So here this quote which is mainly given by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So he is one of my inspiration. Okay, so if you're talking about this quote, he says that freedom is not given, it is taken. Okay, freedom is not given, it is taken. So this is in the context of Britishers. Okay, so during this British colonial period, so Subhash Chandra Bose said that freedom is not given, it is taken. So you can use this quote whenever you're writing answer regarding your modern history. So now let us try to see first topic, it is regarding your economy. So this is important from your GS paper 3 point of view, and this topic is exclusively important from your mains, not from prelims. So why this economy related topic is in news? So already you know that. So recently RBI, Reserve Bank of India, which is the central bank of India, which mainly increased the interest rate, that is 40 basis points regarding repo rate and 50 basis point regarding this CRR, cash reserve ratio. So this is the first important thing. So apart from this interest rate increased by RBI, so recently NSO, National Statistical Office, which mainly came up with inflation of month of April, and it said that this April month of inflation is very high. So now because of this inflation, so already we saw one editorial, so that is inflation in India, it is not due to cost push inflation but because of increasing of liquidity in market. So liquidity means what? Liquidity means nothing but increasing of money supply in the market. So for example, I have 100 rupees in my hand, I can go and I can buy, for example, let us say 10 apples. Okay, but instead of 100 rupees I am having 1000 rupees in my hand, so that I can take this 10 apples not for 100 rupees but for 100 rupees. So if the price is also increasing means yes, I have money in my hand to purchase those 10 apples for my kids, right? So in this way here, wherever there is increasing of liquidity, that will also leads to increasing of inflation in the market. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. Actually this article gave a number of insights regarding what is happening in our Indian economy. So now let us try to understand without any delay. So actually what happened now at present, the government which is facing some issues regarding inflation in the market. For example, if you see the price, if you see the price of oil, that is either you can say like crude oil or either you can say that edible oil that we will be using in our household. So the increasing of price, earlier I used to buy this gold drop sunflower oil for 154 rupees per packet, but now it is like 210 rupees. So there is increasing of price of this edible oil. So not only this, yesterday I went to market and I got tomato rupees 65 rupees per kg. So earlier the tomato used to be like 10 rupees, even sometimes 5 rupees, 3 rupees like that, but now it is 65 rupees. So without tomato we can't do any curry in the house. So it's a necessary item. We have to pay how much it will be and we have to bring this tomato for sure. So here what happened, because of this inflation, so who will be affected the more? The poor. So rich people, they will be having money and they will not bother to give 65 rupees per kg of tomato, but poor people like me, they will be bothering. So because of that I got just half kg tomatoes and I have to use it carefully. So if you see here, now the government which is facing problem regarding this inflation. So inflation is one of the important problem that is facing by the present government. So here why inflation? Because of this COVID-19 pandemic. So due to this COVID-19 pandemic, that mainly altered the supply chain or supply chain disruptions which mainly happened because of this COVID-19. So apart from that, we are also seeing high crude oil prices. High crude oil prices, how it related to inflation? You may have this question. So whenever there is high crude oil prices, we are going for refining of that crude oil and we are getting some petroleum products. For example, let us say diesel, let us say petrol, etc. So diesel, which is one of the important fuel which is mainly used for logistics, right? So for the transportation purpose and for the maintaining of cold storage, everything we will be using this diesel. So increasing of diesel price, that will lead to automatically increasing of the price of the goods in the market, right? And even because of this Russia-Ukraine conflict, that also led to increasing of this consumer price index. So why this Russia-Ukraine crisis which is led to increasing of inflation? So from Russia and Ukraine we will be getting this sunflower oil. So sunflower oil, it is one of the most used edible oil in India, right? So because of this, what happened? Because of decreasing of exports of the sunflower oil from Russia and Ukraine, so there is increasing of demand for the sunflower oil, and that led to increasing of price. So apart from that, one more reason I can add here is Indonesia. So Indonesia, which mainly decreased the exports of palm oil. So because of this also we can see there is increasing of prices of edible oil. And recently, and very recently, we saw that inflation is 7.79%, okay, in the month of April. So it is very, very high, and we have to maintain this inflation. The target here is not more than 6%, but it is like 7.79%. And from last 4 months onwards, so there is a very high inflation that mainly recorded in India. So what is the important reason for this inflation? First important one is food items, second one is fuel. So these are the two biggest culprits that mainly led to increasing of inflation in the market. And if you are talking about food inflation, consumer food price index, which mainly quickened to 17 month high of 8.38% in last month. Okay, there is increasing of consumer food price index. And if you are talking about food and beverage basket, so 10 out of 12 items in this food and beverage basket, so there is increasing of prices here. And finally that led to increasing of this consumer food price index. And if you are talking about even price of cereals and other products, they also constitute about a 1/10 of the CPI. For example, wheat, okay. So actually you know that Russia and Ukraine, they are largest producer of wheat. So they made it decreased their exports to other countries, and the countries which are dependent on this wheat exports, they are now going to face this food insecurity. So because of this, India also said that we are going to increase our exports of this wheat, especially to Egypt. Okay, we already discussed that topic, I think 15 or 20 days ago. So inflation in cereals, which mainly accelerated more than 100 basis point to 5.96% in the last month. And apart from that, if you are talking about Government of India, GOI, which mainly said that we are going to increase our wheat exports as well. So because of whenever we want to export the wheat and whenever we want to decrease the domestic supply, that is supply in the India means, so again it will be having some impact on the prices in India. So this is also one more important cause of concern. So if you're talking about edible oil, it is a one more important constituent of food basket, okay, meriting that is also leading to increasing of inflation, because sunflower oil from this Russia and Ukraine, that had been decreased exports. And even if you're talking about palm oil, so Indonesia, which mainly came up with the banning of this palm oil, because of there is increasing of demand of palm oil in Indonesia, and they are also going for palm oil which is mainly blending, okay. So because of all these reasons, so they mainly led to decreasing of export of this palm oil. So because of this, what happened, we are also facing crisis regarding this palm oil. And next one is, if you are talking about the steps that are taken by RBI, so RBI in its monetary policy, okay, committee decisions, which mainly said that they are going to tighten this monetary policy. That means they are coming up with contractive monetary policy. So in this contractory monetary policy, they want to decrease money supply in the market. So how can they decrease this money supply? Mainly by increasing of interest rates. So that is the thing which we already discussed. So apart from that, one more option which is present before RBI, and as well as if you're talking about especially government, they need to cut the fuel taxes, such that what happened, we can go for decreasing of inflation in the economy. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding SCO, anti-terror meet. So it is about SCO RATS. Okay, SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, RATS. So now actually RATS, it is regional anti-terror structure. It is regional anti-terror structure. So this article, it is very important from your international relations point of view, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. And actually there is one recent development regarding this SCO here is, so one of the observer state in this SCO, that is Iran, which became 9th full member of this SCO. So in this context, you can expect a question regarding this SCO for sure, regarding the members of this SCO and observer states of SCO. So this is your homework, students. So please try to refer. who are the members, that is full-time members and as well as observer states of this SCO. So don't blame me after if you won't answer this question in your coming prelims. So now let's try to see the title. It mainly says that China, Russia, Pakistan to attend this SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization anti-terror meet in Delhi. So this topic is very important from your prelims. Don't forget about this. So if you're talking about context, it mainly says that counter-terrorism teams of especially Russia, okay, counter-terrorism teams of Russia, China and as well as Pakistan and some Central Asian countries, they are going to gather in Delhi on this weekend. And they are going to attend this Shanghai Cooperation Organization regional anti-terror structure. Okay, so this mainly going to happen between May 16th to May 19th. So once this is done, we will be getting number of articles. So as of now, you have to know some facts regarding this. What is this Shanghai Cooperation Organization, RATS, and even some facts regarding this SCO. So now let us try to see some details regarding this topic. So this is the first official discussions that are going to be held in India. So as you all know, across this LAC, line of actual control between India and China, so we are seeing standoff since 2020 onwards. So since 2020 onwards, the first time this China and India, they are going to participate in this SCO. And even if you're talking about Russia, so Russia-Ukraine war is going on. So since Russia-Ukraine war is going on, so this is the meeting they are going to meet in this Shanghai Cooperation Organization anti-terror structure. So if you're talking about sources mainly said that 3-member Pakistani team, they will going to attend this meeting in India. And this is for the first time both countries after both countries they became the member of this SCO. They are mainly participating in this SCO RATS. So India, which mainly also expected to host this SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in 2023. So actually 8 important leaders includes China, India, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Pakistan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. And recently Iran also became the full-time member of this SCO. So in October, here there is a joint anti-terrorist exercises, and the title of this is Manisar Anti-Terror 2022. It will be held on this NSG training campus in this Manisar. So it is mainly located in the outskirts of Delhi. Okay, so this is one important thing that we are going to see. And not only this, we are going to have this Friendship Border 2022 in Kazakhstan. Okay, and if you're talking about these both exercises, they are mainly decided at a meeting of this SCO RATS in this Tashkent, which happened in this in the last year, March 25th. So if you're talking about some facts regarding this RATS, SCO RATS, so it is nothing but Shanghai Cooperation Organization regional anti-terror structure. So it mainly established by member states. So what is the important aim of this SCO? It is to counter, name itself it is saying that anti-terror. It is to counter terrorism, separatism and as well as extremism. So these are 3 important words that you have to remember. And this RATS, which mainly established in 2004 in Tashkent. Okay, Tashkent is located in Uzbekistan. So it is a regional anti-terror structure which mainly operates in accordance with SCO Charter and as well as Shanghai Convention on Combating Terrorism, Separatism, Extremism, etc. So if we're talking about what are the functions of this SCO RAT, so first one is it is mainly focusing on working of relations, okay, and it is mainly focusing on fighting against terrorism, separatism and as well as extremism. And next one is it is mainly focusing to provide some assistance in interaction among the member states in preparation and staging of counter-terrorism exercises, and it will be also helpful for the request of concerned member states, preparation and even conduct of such operation and other activities in the field of fighting terrorism, separatism and as well as extremism. Okay, so it is also mainly focusing in interaction among the member states. Okay, and it is mainly focusing on anti-terrorism exercises, and it is also coming up with a joint drafting of international legal documents, and it especially focuses on fighting against terrorism, separatism and extremism, and will be also gathering some analysis information. Okay, and next one is it is also having some effective response to the global challenges and as well as threats regarding this terrorism, and it will be also holding some scientific conferences, workshops, assistance in sharing experience, etc. So if you're talking about some facts regarding the Shanghai Cooperation Organization especially, so it is a permanent intergovernmental international organization, and this organization which is mainly created in 2001, and this SCO charter which mainly signed in 2002, finally it came into force in 2003. So actually this SCO, it is a Eurasian political, economic and as well as military organization. It is mainly focusing on peace, security, stability in the region. So actually it is an 8-member economic and security bloc, and recently Iran which mainly became a full-time member of this SCO. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Modi Dyuba to continue talks on hydropower connectivity. So this article which is mainly talking about India-Nepal relations, and this topic is also important from your international relations, which mainly comes under your GS paper 2. And this topic is also important from your mains point of view. So now let us try to understand this topic. So actually our Prime Minister Modi ji and Nepal's counterpart, they will focus on connectivity and as well as electricity projects during the bilateral talks on Monday. On Monday, we are going to have bilateral talks with this Nepal. So some important highlights of this meet will be like connectivity projects and hydroelectricity power projects. So here, if you're talking about why our Prime Minister is visiting this Nepal, because on occasion of Buddha Purnima. So if you see details, it mainly says that in their bilateral talks, two Prime Minister, they will pick up some important areas. Okay, they want to focus on improving of conversions, okay, in Delhi. Especially they want to understand and they want to come up with cooperation in multiple areas. For example, hydropower, for example, development, partnership and as well as connectivity. So in these areas, we need proper good cooperation between India and Nepal, because India and Nepal, they are sharing boundary with each other. So if you're talking about the leaders, they are mainly expected to sign some agreements for after meeting. So if you're talking about why this meeting is important, because after this this Kala-Pani Sustar dispute which mainly broken between India and Nepal in 2020, so Nepal amended the constitution especially to incorporate a new map showing the parts of India and its territory. So after this 2020, so we are going to have this first visit. So because of this is very, very important. And if you are talking about map here, so this is China and this is India. Okay, so this part, it is Nepal. It is sharing boundary between India and China. It mainly acts as a buffer state between India and China as well. So if you're talking about highlights of this visit, we are going to talk about connectivity. So in connectivity, what are the important things that you have to remember? So we are mainly going to talk about 35 kilometers border railway line. So this mainly links Jayanagar in Bihar to Kurta in Nepal. And actually this is the first broad gauge passenger rail link between Nepal and as well as India. So this is the one important thing. And next one, it is about Solu corridor. So in this Solu corridor, so the Indian side which mainly hand over this Solu corridor. So this corridor, it is a 90 kilometers, 132 kilowatts power transmission line. So in this Solu corridor, we are going to have this 132 kilowatts of power line, okay, which is mainly built for rupees 200 crores under Indian line of credit. And this line will also helpful especially to bring electricity to several remote districts in northeastern Nepal, and we are going to connect them to the country's national grid as well. And next important one, it is regarding RuPay card. So here we are mainly going for a launching of this India's RuPay card in this Nepal. So because mostly border trade which mainly happens with the Indian currency, so because of this RuPay card is also very, very important. And this Nepal will be the fourth country after Bhutan, Singapore and UAE where this RuPay is laid. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Gaganyaan. So ISRO's test booster for Gaganyaan mission. So this Gaganyaan, it is very important from your prelims and as well as from your mains. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So this will be important from your GS paper 3 under science and technology. So if you see context, it mainly says that Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO, has successfully carried out the static test of HS-200 solid rocket booster. So now ISRO came with testing of this HS-200 solid rocket booster, and it will be helpful especially for moving a step closer to kindly awaited this Gaganyaan human space flight mission. So especially for this Gaganyaan mission, so we need to have good command or good knowledge about this, whether this solid rock booster will be working or not. So if there is efficiency, so how much efficiency is there, so if there are any loopholes are there, so we have to know that loopholes before itself, because after launching, once the mission is launched, whenever it is failing means it will be brings a huge amount of losses. So because of this, here when we are going for this test, that will be very much helpful for analyzing of capabilities of so and so thing. So if you're talking about details, it mainly says that, so this is mainly designed and developed by Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. Okay, it is located in this Thiruvananthapuram for over 2 years. And this HS-200 booster, it is a human rated version of this S-200 rocket boosters, which mainly used to the geosynchronous launch satellite vehicle, that is Mach 3. Okay, so this is one important thing here. So this version, that is HS-200 booster, it is a human related version of this S-200 rocket boosters, which mainly use it to this geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle Mach 3. So if we're talking about some more important details here, GSLV Mach 3 rocket, which will be used for this Gaganyaan mission, will have 2 HS-200 boosters, and it will mainly supply the thrust for the lift out. Okay, lift off. So here this GSLV Mach 3 rocket, so which mainly used for this Gaganyaan mission, and we need to see whether these boosters are working or not, because this will be very important. Actually what happened here is, so this HS-200 boosters, that will be helpful especially to supply the thrust of the lift off. So if it is not working means we can't take this rocket upside. So this HS-200, and this is like a 20-meter long booster, and the diameter is 3.2 meters, and it is the world's second largest operational booster, okay, by using this solid propellants. And next one is, so this successful completion of this test, which is one of the major milestone that we seen in this human flight mission of this ISRO, that is Gaganyaan mission. And actually this Gaganyaan is a manned mission, so which is mainly carried out through this GSLV Mach 3, and it will have some improvements in the increasing of reliability and as well as safety to meet the requirements of these human beings. So if you are talking about some facts regarding this Gaganyaan mission, so this mission, which is mainly by ISRO, you have to remember this, and actually under this Gaganyaan mission there are about 3 flights which are mainly sent to orbit. So out of these 3 flights, 2 are unmanned and 1 is manned or human space flight. And in this Gaganyaan system module, it is mainly called this orbital module, that will have 3 Indian astronauts including women. So if we are talking about this mission, so it will circle Earth at the low Earth orbit and at an altitude of 300 to 400 kilometers from Earth for 5 to 7 days. So now let us try to see what is significance of this mission. So first one is, it will mainly help for enhancement of science and technology levels in the country, and in this way it will be inspiring the next generation, that is youth. And next one is, Gaganyaan will also involve numerous agencies, laboratories, disciplines and industries, departments, etc. So in this way it will be helpful for collaboration with the different fields. And next one is, it will also help for improvement in the industrial growth, and even that will helpful for the increasing of private participation in the space sector, and will be also helpful in the development of technology for social benefits, and even it will be helpful for removing, or for example, so whatever the thing that is present like loopholes in our science and technology development, that we can remove. So apart from that, we can also improve this international collaboration as well. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. Title says 3.2 crore used facilities under this Ayushman scheme. So here we are not going to focus on how much amount it is spent, how much amount it is allocated, but here we need to know some facts regarding this Ayushman Bharat scheme. So this will be very important from your GS paper to under governance. So now let us try to see this topic in a great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that about 18 crore health cards have been issued under this Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So far about 3.2 crore people, they have been availed these hospital facilities under this scheme. So this is one of the most successful thing I can say that. So if you're talking about details, so before that, so two important things which are very important for the improving of living standards of people here is, first one is there is a need for proper health services, and next one is education. So if you are providing proper health services and proper education and even drinking water also, then that will be helpful for the improving of standard of life of people for sure. So because for health and education, so if the people want to invest here, if they are not having enough money, means example for this health sector, they need to bring the more money, okay, they need to borrow the money and they have to invest here. So because of this, that will lead to debt trap debt trap of that family. So that if you are providing, if the government is providing proper health services means, so it will be very helpful for the people's improving of standard of living. So if you're talking about details, it mainly says that earlier this week, National Health Authority, under this flagship scheme of this Ayushman Bharat digital mission, it mainly announced that successful integration of additional 13 digital health solutions, okay, in the last 3 months. So if we're talking about some facts regarding this topic, which mainly says that if we are talking about especially regarding this Ayushman Bharat scheme, so it mainly offers a sum of 5 lakh. It mainly offers a sum of 5 lakh per family, okay, for secondary care. So which does not involve super specialist as well as tertiary care. So it is mainly including like secondary care. And under this Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, so there will be a cashless and paperless access to the services, and these are provided to beneficiaries at the point of service. And health benefit packages, they cover surgery, they cover medical and as well as daycare treatment, and even cost of the medicines and as well as diagnostics. And the packaged rates, the rates that mainly include everything, so that each product or service is not charged for separately, okay. So talking about packaged rates, so the rates which mainly include everything, so that each product or service is not charged for separately. So they are flexible, but they can't charge the beneficiary once fixed by the hospitals. And the scheme also prescribed a daily limit for the medical management as well. So this is about the scheme. And now let us try to see next topic is regarding mRNA vaccine platform. So what is mRNA? That is ribonucleic acid. So if we are talking about genetic material, so we will be having DNA, that is okay, deoxyribonucleic acid. Next one is RNA, that is ribonucleic acid. So if you are talking about mRNA, we will be having different type, tRNA, that is transfer RNA, mRNA, etc. So this article is mainly talking about mRNA. So this topic is important from your GS paper 3 under science and technology. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that Center for Cellular and Microbiology, where it has established the proof of principles of the first indigenous mRNA vaccine technology coming from scientific institution in India. So here CCMB, that is Center for Cellular and Microbiology, so it mainly came up with this first indigenous mRNA vaccine technology. So it is one of the great success that we can see. So if you see the details, it mainly says that, so this mRNA vaccine, which is mainly having a robust immune response and which had been observed against this COVID-19 spike protein in mice upon administration of 2 doses of mRNA vaccine. So whenever there is administration of this 2 doses of mRNA vaccine, so we are going to have a robust immune response. And if you are talking about this response, so anti-spike antibodies which are mainly generated were found to be more than 90% efficient in preventing this human ACE2 receptor binding to the coronavirus. So it is mainly going to provide antibodies of the spike protein, such that actually this spike protein will come and will be attaching to this AC inhibitor. So it will be mainly activating this AC inhibitor such that there is no attachment of this viral spike protein to this AC inhibitor, which mainly happens. And this mRNA vaccine is like 90% of efficiency that is mainly found. and this mRNA candidate, it is now undergoing a preclinical hamster challenge studies. So actually if you're talking about this vaccines, whenever it is coming into market or before clinical trials, we will be going for animal studies. For example, we will be studying in rats, mice, and as well as pigs and as well as hamster. So it is at hamster challenge. So now let us try to see some more important details. So while vaccines work by training the immune system to identify the disease causing microorganisms, and that will be eliminated quickly from the body here. Okay, so this is the way which this vaccines which mainly working, and the homegrown mRNA vaccine platform which mainly holds a promise to deal with other infections, not only this coronavirus but even TB, dengue, malaria, chikungunya, and some rare genetic diseases as well. And the beauty of this technology, it is very much rapid. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let's try to talk about what is mRNA. So mRNA or messenger RNA technology, which mainly works by teaching our cells to recognize and to protect us against these infectious diseases. So one of the challenge in this new technology, it must be kept in cold, okay, to maintain a proper temperature for stability, and even we need to maintain proper temperature during the transfer and as well as storage as well. So if we're talking about this mRNA vaccines, they mainly trick the body to produce some of the viral proteins itself, and each one is they mainly work by using mRNA, that is messenger RNA. And this mRNA, it is a molecule that mainly essentially puts DNA instructs to action, and actually inside the cell here mRNA which mainly used as a template to build a protein as well. So these are some important facts regarding this today's articles. And now let us try to see today's questions. The first one is right to freedom. So which article, that is article 19, talks about this right to freedom. So article 19 in the Indian Constitution, which mainly guarantees to all citizens 6 rights, that is right to freedom, and to consider the following with a reference to this freedom of movement. So it mainly enters outsiders in the tribal areas is restricted, yes, because we need to protect the culture of that tribal people. And next one is the freedom of movement of prostitutes can be restricted because of the grounds of public health, for example because of HIV and some sexually transmitted diseases like gonorrhea, etc., gonorrhea, syphilis. So here correct answer will be both A and B, that is 3. And next one is in Indian context, the concept of this due process of law was introduced in which of the following cases, that is in the Menaka Gandhi case. And today's questions are the first one, it is regarding fundamental duty, and second one regarding DPSP, that principles of state policy. So please try to read the statements and give me the correct option in the comment box. And I want to make a small announcement. So we in Rathod Science, we launched this foundational course of this Rathod's IAS Academy for this UPSC CSE 2023 and 2024. So the validity of this course is 2 years, and we will be providing you prelims test series and as well as mains answer writing practice, which are free here. And the total cost of this foundational course is just 60,000 rupees. And if you want to take individual courses like only history, geography, economy, environment and ecology, disaster management, science and technology, international relations, polity and governance, and as well as ethics. So here I am dealing with ethics and geography, and I dealt each and every topic in a very great detail. So please try to take this courses that will be very advantageous and improve your concept clarity regarding this UPSC examination. And if you have any queries, so please call us on this number 8074 765513. Okay, and if you want to watch the demo videos, you can visit our website rathodsicacademy.com, and there you can watch 3 demo videos which are free of cost. So now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our today's Hindu. Date is 14th May and this is Delhi edition. So the first article here, it is regarding delimitation report of Jammu and Kashmir. So yesterday we discussed about this Jammu and Kashmir delimitation report, and actually what happened here is Supreme Court, which mainly directed the center to file an affidavit respond to the challenge of the delimitation. So this is about this article, and you have to refer about some facts regarding this delimitation. And next topic is regarding 27 dead in massive fire in Delhi. So this article, which is mainly talking about fire accidents, so this mainly comes under disaster management. We need to talk about some important steps that can be taken regarding this preparedness, rehabilitation, and also during disaster, post disaster. So this will be important from your mains point of view. And you can leave this page, there is nothing much important in the city page. And if you see in editorial page, we have number of articles. Okay, the first one is regarding full circle, that is regarding economic stability. I discussed this topic. And next topic it is regarding Sri Lankan crisis. I discussed this topic number of times. And one more article, it is regarding steel frame of India, that is about civil servants. So what happened recently, some civil servants, they mainly make a letter to our justice regarding this Muslims. Okay, so because of this is in news, actually you need to know about articles regarding All India Civil Service, All India Services, and you need to know about some important foundational values for a civil servant from your ethics point of view, that is integrity, honesty, neutrality, impartiality, dedication to work. And next, if you move forward in this states, in this news page, I discussed about this SEO anti-terror meet, and there is one article regarding this Amarnath Yatra pilgrims to be tracked through this RFID tags. So here you need to know some facts regarding this Amarnath Yatra. And next topic is regarding India-Nepal relations. I discussed this topic. And if you move forward in this 12th page, so there is one article regarding the monsoon to arrive early over Kerala. And this topic is very important from your geography point of view. And you have to know mechanism for this formation of these monsoons. And then you can appreciate this article. And next topic is regarding mRNA vaccine platform. I discussed this topic. And next one it is regarding Gaganyaan. I discussed this topic. And next one it is regarding Ayushman Bharat scheme. I discussed this topic. And if you see in this page, you can see an article regarding this nuclear test with Iran have been reopened. So it is about it is about nuclear talks, that is JCPO, Joint Comprehensive Action of Plan of Action. I discussed this topic number of times. Okay, and if you move forward, here in this business page, you can see exports rose 30.7% in April, and imports which mainly grew by 31%. So whenever exports are increasing and imports are increasing, means we can see there might be the balance, or sometimes we can see negative, okay, in trade. And next topic is regarding April crude oil imports rise to record. So actually you know that there is increasing of demand for the oil, that is mainly seen. So because of power cuts, we are using generators, we are using some batteries. So for this generators, we need to use some crude oil, for example, not exactly crude oil, but we can use diesel. So this diesel, it is one of the component of refinery after this crude oil. So because of this, here's S&P, that is Standard and Poor, which is a global credit rating agency, which mainly said that crude oil imports, which are mainly going to hit high in the month of April, and it is mainly surpassing about 44.8 million barrels per day in April. Okay, so this is the data which is mainly released by this S&P Global. So you have to know some facts regarding this S&P Global, and these are some important articles that appear in this today's newspaper. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy, and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. Thank you so much.